everyone, it's Cindy and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate having you around. Do consider subscribing to my channel so that you don't miss any of my videos. So today's video is a replay of Feel Good Friday that took place on the 23rd of June. And in this video, I will be sharing the 10 beliefs that I think you need to let go of if you want to be more successful. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, then just keep watching. Hey everyone, it's Feel Good Friday, and today we're going to be talking about the 10 beliefs you need to let go of if you want to be successful. In my opinion, there are lots of other beliefs that we can work on too, and there's lots that are related to the ones I'm going to be talking to you about, but that's what we're going to be doing today. In previous videos, I've talked about how you can sort of download from your brain all the beliefs that you have, and I've also talked about some techniques that you can use to clear those beliefs. So you might want to look back at some of my previous Feel Good Fridays if you want to find out about that stuff. So, hi Libby, nice to see you this morning. How are you doing? So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to talk a little bit about me just so in case you haven't met me before. My name's Cindy Davis. I'm the Feel Good Coach, and I help mums who've got businesses to find out how they might be sabotaging themselves and why that's happening, and then help them to get rid of the beliefs that are causing that right down at the core. And so my superpower is getting down right down to the root cause, finding out what that is, and then getting rid of it really, really quickly. So that's what I do in case you haven't met me before. And limiting beliefs are the thing that I do. That's what I do. So hi to Heather. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. And glad to see that you're okay, Libby. Brilliant. Okay, so let's move on to why beliefs are important. So the reason that beliefs are so important to success is because our beliefs will guide our thoughts. Our thoughts come from they're like thinking habits that we have. So 90% of the time we're basically in a trance thinking the same thoughts we thought yesterday and the day before that and the day before that, and they all come from our beliefs. And a belief is really just a thought that we've had so many times that we come to believe it to be true. And so when we've got these thoughts, they make us feel a certain way. So we might feel anxious because we're thinking about a talk we're going to do, and the thoughts are all about, I might make a mistake, I might forget my words, someone might ask me a question I can't answer, and all that kind of stuff. And those thoughts are constantly going round and round and round, not necessarily in your conscious awareness that you can do anything about them at the time, in your unconscious, then they can cause you to feel anxious. You can see how that would happen, right? So when you feel anxious, then it's going to make you behave in a certain way and either not take action or take different action than you would if you weren't feeling anxious. So that's an example of how your beliefs can impact on the behaviors and actions that you do. And of course, that's then going to lead on to the results that you get. So if you then decide, actually, I can't do the talk, I'm too anxious about it, all these things might go wrong, then that's going to impact on the results you might get in your business, because doing talks might be a really good way for you to connect with your audience. So that's why beliefs are really, really important, and why I bang on about them all the time. So by the way, guys, tag anyone in the comments if you think that they should be here watching this. If there's someone you know that just needs to hear this stuff, then tag them and hopefully they can find this video, at least in the replay. Brilliant. Okay, so belief number one, let's get right into it. Morning, Tina, lovely to see you. So we're just going to get into belief number one. And it's quite funny, actually. It's almost like a little trick one. This belief is, I need to let go of all of my limiting beliefs before I can get what I want, whether that's success in business, in personal life, with weight, financial success, whatever it means to you. Sometimes we have this belief that we need to get rid of every single limiting belief. So we find out about beliefs and how important they are. We think we can't be successful until every single one's gone. So that's just not possible. It just isn't possible to get rid of every single limiting belief, because every time we achieve new goals, we then achieve our goals. We set new goals, either intentionally or unintentionally. We sort of strive for the next thing, and then that's going to bring up resistance and these limiting beliefs for us to clear. And if we don't clear them, then they are going to start causing us problems again. So this isn't kind of never-ending thing to be aware of, that every time we're focusing on something new that we want to achieve, there's going to be more beliefs that will come up, and they're just basically resistance. It's just part of us doesn't want us to do that thing because it's trying to keep us safe, and that's the only reason. And even shifting one belief, especially if it's a really sort of deep down belief, can have far-reaching effects in your life. Really, it can impact on other beliefs and make them just go away, but it also can just affect all areas of your life, even if it's just one belief that goes. So that's belief number one. You don't have to get rid of every single limiting belief in order to be successful, but lots of people, when they learn about this, do think that. So belief number two we're moving on to, and by the way, before we go on, just in case you're wondering why we've got a different background, it's because I'm having problems with my computer. So I'm sat downstairs on the floor at the coffee table with my computer, just so that I could make this live video for you. So I hope you don't mind that it's a slightly different background. Okay, so belief number two that I hear a lot is I'm not a very confident person. And a lot of people say that. And the trouble with saying I'm not a very confident person is, first of all, it's not true, because everyone's confident in some area of their life. You know, you wake up and you're confident that you can brush your teeth. It's not true that you're not a confident person. You might be really confident at driving, but not very confident standing up in front of a room full of people. So when we say I'm not a confident person, it's not true, and it's like a sweeping generalization, and we're telling ourselves that we're not confident in anything, and it's just simply not true. So when we tell ourselves something like that like we're not confident, what it's going to do is going to put us off trying new things like public speaking or making videos for your business or any of those kind of things, going out and knocking on doors, making follow-up calls, going out prospecting, whatever it is that you need to do in your business. Telling ourselves that we're not very confident, if that's something that you can identify with, then, you know, that's just going to be making it more difficult for you to go and do the things that you know you need to do in your business. And that can be a really key thing that's stopping people from being as successful as they could be. Excuse me. Right. I just had some really dry toast. You know, when you have, like, you let it go a bit too cold and then it goes really dry and like hard. Ugh, it wasn't very pleasant. Anyway, but the Marmite was nice. I queue lots of comments about how disgusting Marmite is, but I love it. Okay, belief number three, I digress. Belief number three is I need to be perfect before, or it needs to be perfect before I can have it, or I can do it, or I can be it. And a lot of us have this perfectionism, and it quite often manifests itself as procrastination. Procrastination is a really key symptom of perfectionism. And for me, most of the time, procrastination comes from some kind of fear. That's what I recognize when I'm procrastinating, and in a lot of my clients, there's some kind of fear there. There's, oh good, I'm glad I'm not the only one who likes Marmite, Tina, that's brilliant. Not alone, I'm not alone. It needs to, not everyone, lots of people have this belief that we need to be perfect, and it causes procrastination, and that for me quite often appears to come from fear, and it can be like fear of criticism. So for instance, if everything's got to be perfect before we put it out, that's because if I put it out and it's not perfect, I'm going to get criticised, or I might even criticise myself. And we don't like being criticised. Nobody likes being criticised. So we're going to make sure that we don't put ourselves in that position by procrastinating not to put that thing out in the world, or not to do that thing, because then we can't get criticised and it won't feel bad. So that for me is really why that belief needs to go, that I need to be perfect, which is impossible, or it needs to be perfect, which is unnecessary. So I like to work to the 80-20 rule, which you've probably heard of, where you know, as long as there's 80% there, it's going to be great. I love to be, 80% is good enough for me. Good enough has to be good enough. You can't just keep trying with things to get them perfect. I was talking about, I finished my book back in September. I've written a book, and I have been stuck on it for ages because I couldn't think of a title. And you need a title to do the cover, and that's kind of like the next bit. And I'm doing my own illustrations as well, so I I didn't know what illustration to use or anything because I didn't have a title. And so now I've got a title, which is brilliant. But since I've written it, there's some things which I would change because I've kind of moved on since I wrote it. But the trouble with that is I could keep going back and changing things forever and never, ever publish that book. So I have decided that I'm going to leave the thing that I was going to change, just because I can't go back and change everything. That's, we're always moving on, especially I'm constantly learning new things. So there's always going to be more stuff that, I'll just write another book. Why not? Why not write another book? So I need to be perfect, or it needs to be perfect. That's a really key belief to get rid of, because that is definitely going to hold you back in your business, in your life, in your relationships, everything. And these beliefs, these are all sort of quite deep beliefs. These are ones that are going to be impacting on all areas of your life. And it's just, that's not working. I was going to show Heather's comment there. She just said it's so true, but the comment's just not working when I'm showing it. So we won't worry about showing the comments. So a lot of these beliefs are quite deep ones. And so they show up all over the place. And when we can clear one of these beliefs on a deep level, what that does is impacts on all those different areas. So it's really, really, that's why I work in this sort of space with all the beliefs, because you can have such a big impact in a really short time, instead of having to, go to talk to someone about it for 10 years and not sort of make any progress. That's probably an exaggeration, but sometimes I feel like in a session we can get through like 10 years worth of therapy in one session. So it's because we can work through everything. Tina, great. I'm glad you can see the comments. I can only see them when they flash up, and then they've disappeared off my screen because I'm using this Be Live thing. And normally I would be able to show them on the screen, but what happens is it was just blank. So it's fine. We'll carry on. You guys can see the comments. I see them when they flash up. As long as I notice that, it's all good. Okay, let's move on to belief number 4. It's very related to belief number 3, really, but a slightly different flavour. So this one is, I need X before I can be successful, blah, 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 blah. So X could be anything that we decide to make up that we need before we can have something. So for example, in weight loss, we might think we need the right diet, or the right exercise plan, or the right timing, or the right circumstances, and we'll keep looking for the right thing before we can lose weight. And we decide that we can't lose weight until we have this mythical thing that we can't find. And with business, it could be, I need another qualification, I need a particular app, I need a tool, I need contacts, I need all this stuff before I can be successful. And again, those are really unhelpful, because we're constantly we're not living in the moment, are we? We're always looking forward to what's this other thing I need, and this other thing I need. And actually, and there's a premise in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that says we all have all the resources we need. You have all the resources you need right now to be able to be, do, or have whatever it is you want. You're just hiding it from yourself in a lot of cases. And so this belief is so unhelpful, and it just needs to go. I need this before I can have whatever it is I want. Just get rid of it. Do what you can. We'll talk about a bit about that at the end. But yeah, that belief is a big one. Okay, so the next one is this is one I hear all day, every day, just in general conversation all the time. And I do try and sort of flip it around for people, because just to be helpful. But so people tell me it's hard, or it's too hard. So it's really hard. It's really hard at the moment in business. It's really hard with the economy. It's really hard to drive, or it's really hard to find. Oh, looked like I was unconnected for a second, but I'm back. So these are the things that we tell ourselves all the time. It's hard to get clients. It's hard to run a business. It's hard to do all these things. It's hard to use technology. It's hard to work out how to use my phone. It's hard, whatever. People say it all the time. I do listen out for it, and I tend to say, it's not easy. Because if I say, it's not easy, they go, yes, it's not easy. And that is a massive shift. Just that tiny, tiny change in language is a massive shift. And it makes you feel so much like it's so much more achievable. So just try it for a minute. Just tell yourself right now that something is hard that you've got to achieve. So, for instance, getting this broadcast to work properly is hard. I mean, that just feels hard. It feels really hard, and it's going to make it harder. And if I tell myself this, getting this broadcast right is not easy, so you do that with your thing. This thing, it's not easy. It just softens it a bit. It gives you a bit of leeway. So that's a really big tip for that. And of course, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell yourself it's going to be hard, then it is going to be hard. You're going to find ways to make it hard for yourself, because your unconscious mind, as we talked about before in these videos, has to prove you right. So if you think it's hard, then your unconscious mind is going to make it hard for you by making you mess up or making you not notice stuff that you need to notice and all that kind of thing. So it's really, really important to listen to that language that you're using and those beliefs that we have about things being hard, because it's just not helpful. Okay, so let's crack on. So we're moving on to belief number 6. Hang on, just need to get rid of that little note. I love this system because it's got like a little note thing here that I can just look at and make sure I'm staying on track, because as we all know, I could talk for years on this stuff, so I like to keep myself on the button and not mucking about talking about all sorts of other stuff, like my lovely bright t-shirt. What do you think of it? It's new. Is it too bright? Do you like it? You'll have to let me know in the comments, because I can't really tell. I kind of think it suits me. Anyway, guys, if you're enjoying this and you're relating to some of these beliefs, maybe hit the heart button so that we know that it's going down well, or comment, or something, get involved and let me know, because it's this is the stuff that makes the real difference. And I know there's a few of you that I've spoken to personally on the call, on the video here, so I know that you get this stuff, and this is what we've done a lot together. But if you're watching on the replay, again, do please hit the heart button or comment, so that when I'm getting notifications, I can see that this is hitting home for you guys. Thank you, Heather. I'm glad you think it's a lovely colour and it suits me. That's really cool. Okay, so we'll move on to belief number 6. And again, it's very similar to the previous one, but it's again a slightly different, and it will come up all the time. And how many times do you tell yourself in the day, I can't do something? We tell ourselves all the time, I can't. And I hear people say, because I go to rock choir, and it's like the best therapy ever, and I love going. It's not, I'm not a brilliant singer, it's none of that, nothing like that, but it's just the standing there with a group of people. We're all singing together as a group. We sound amazing. We sing brilliant songs. Lately we've been singing lots of 80s stuff. Love it. And I tell that to people, especially people who are feeling a bit down. I say, singing really makes you feel good. And they say, I can't sing. And the thing is, that's not true, because everyone can, unless you've got like a physical reason why you can't, everyone can make a noise with their voice that is musical. It might not be judged by other people as being nicely musical. It might not sound tuneful, but we can all make a musical noise with our voice. So it's not true that people can't sing. Everyone can sing. It's just that we judge it based on, I can't sing as well as XYZ. Or what it usually comes down to is we were told once that we couldn't sing, or we have. So I had an experience where I was singing. I used to sit and play solitaire on the computer and have music playing in the background. This is years and years and years ago. And I just sing along to things like Maroon 5 or whatever. And then a friend was round and they said, gosh, you've got a lovely singing voice. And I was like, have I? Because every time I sing playfully, people would like do, a whining cat noise to take the mick, because we have quite a sort of teasing kind of family, and that's kind of how I grew up as well. So it's I kind of thought I couldn't sing, and I mean, I'm not the best singer, I haven't got the most beautiful voice, but I can hold a tune, and I think it sounds okay. But when this friend said, gosh, you've got a lovely voice, I was just stunned. Absolutely stunned. And that was one of those beliefs I had, that I can't sing, because of those experiences that I'd had. And it simply wasn't true. And it just took one person to say to me, that sounds lovely, for me to go, oh, okay, maybe I can sing. So it's so important that these things that we tell ourselves we can't do. I can't do technology. I hear that so much. I can't do PowerPoint. No, I can't do PowerPoint. I mean, you can learn it. Anyone can learn it. It's not rocket science. Anyone can learn it. A lot of people say I can't do maths. I say it sometimes. I say I can't do maths when I've had wine, which is probably true. And sometimes I can't do maths in the evening because my brain's fried. But in truth, saying I can't do maths, it's not true. I can. I'm quite competent. But it's one of those beliefs I hear all the time. So if you've got some I can'ts, then it might be worth noting down what they are. And I'm noticing, Libby, that you're saying you were told you couldn't sing when you were younger, and now look at you. You're in a choir, you're having personal singing lessons with a tutor, amazing stuff, and I bet you sound brilliant. So, and you maybe you're going to be doing a solo, I don't know. But it's just not true. I can't. There's so many things we can do that we tell ourselves I can't. And of course, it's hard. If we tell ourselves we can't do something, then we probably won't even try. And then we'll just prove to ourselves that we can't. And even if we do try, we're likely to mess it up. Because of course, there's that thing where our unconscious mind has to prove us right. So it'll force us to make some kind of massive error and prove, yes, of course, that's reinforcing that I can't do that thing. And it's all rubbish. So again, a really useful one to shift on all sorts of levels for all sorts of topics, because it can really frees you up to be doing what you want to do. I'm going to go a little bit over time because there's so much to cover here, and I really wanted to get you guys loads and loads of value today. So I hope you can hang around for a bit longer, because this stuff is gold dust. So we're going to move on to belief number 8, which is one that we covered recently on a masterclass with my business coach, Carrie Lindeen. We did a training, but we also did a bit of mindset work as well. And the belief that I worked on was one of the one that felt the most relevant for me was I'm an imposter. And that's that thing where lots of people have this imposter syndrome where we think that we're going to get caught out, or they're going to find out I'm not as good as I say I am. Or they're going to find out I'm not as good as they think I am at what I do. And it's really, really common. And if you can identify with this, do let me know, because I've definitely had this for a long time. And we did this exercise on the course, which was really powerful. And that's gone for me now. There are lots of ways to clear that kind of belief. But that was so powerful to get rid of that, because suddenly I got to the end of the process and I was like, that's rubbish. That's not the word I used. I used the word beginning with B and ending it sounds like rollocks, like the things you row with. So it's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. I do know my stuff. I've trained, I've got experience and all that stuff, but I still, underneath all of that, had this unconscious fear that I was an imposter and I was going to get caught out. And it's so common, and we've all got a bit of it. And I'm glad to see, Heather, that you've been there too, because I know that it's such a common one. And this will cause massive resistance and stop you from doing all sorts of things, because you might get found out. So you have to keep yourself kind of away from everybody and not get too big and not put your head above the parapet, because people might find out and then you're going to get caught. So that one is a really key one to get shot of, because not helpful at all. Okay. Somehow I managed to go from belief number 8 to belief number 7. I don't know what I've done. I must have shifted them around somehow. We're going in a different order. I've remade numbers and I've reinvented maths. So there you go. So this belief is it takes struggle and hardship to be successful. To be a successful business person, to have a successful career, to be successful financially, it takes struggle and hardship. And this is one that I've had for a long time, and I've done a lot of work on this, and I think there's still more to do, because I am struggling big time right now with my technology, with my computer. And so for me, that is a sign. It's kind of like a mirror to me that says I've got something about I need to struggle. And sometimes it can be part of your identity, that I've struggled and therefore I've got some kind of, I'm brave, I've got this bravery thing, or some kind of badge of honor for struggling through things and still succeeding. And yet I'd much rather it was all easy. I really, really would. If you know me, you know that I like ease, I like flow, and I like fun. Struggle is not something I consciously want, but on some level I think I have this belief that I need to struggle in order to be worthy, to have proven myself. And of course, if you believe something's a struggle, your unconscious mind is going to go ahead and make it a struggle for you. And so I've obviously got this resistance going on with my technology that I'm going to be doing some work on and hoping that will clear it. But have you ever noticed that some people just fall into success really easily and it all seems to flow for them and all that kind of stuff? They don't have this belief. And so that's why it's a really key one to get rid of, and that's why I included it here today. So we've got belief number 9, maybe 9, may not be 9, I'm not sure. Oh, great, Heather. You had that same block. I can't really see when you had it pop up, but I can see you had it pop up. And such a good one to clear, because we always think we need to have all this. Oh, anyway, I'm not going to go back over it. So belief number 9, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. And again, these are not conscious beliefs. It's not that we consciously think we don't deserve it, although some people do. It's a deep core belief, and it is very, very common. And it comes from programming from when we were very young. Quite often, we might get told we don't deserve that toy because we haven't been good enough or whatever it is. And that can then become a core belief, as simply as that. Because if that was really traumatic for us to be told we didn't deserve that toy, then that can then cause a belief for us. And so if we don't deserve something like success or money or whatever, we're just not going to allow ourselves to have it. Just not going to let ourselves do it. And this belief is going on under the surface. So consciously, we can be striving and trying and really working for something, but unconsciously, we're going to sabotage our own efforts. And so this is a really key belief to clear. So this is why these beliefs have been getting more and more powerful as we've been going down the list, because I've been trying to kind of do it in that order. This is a really deep core belief. And this one comes up with everybody I speak to. On some level, we've all got a bit of I'm not good enough, and clearing that is absolutely vital, because the more of that we clear, it comes up in all different areas as well. So I'm not good enough to be this, I'm not good enough to be that. We need to clear all of those and get that gone, because it is not going to help you. And we're getting near the end. So belief number 10, hit the heart button or the like button. Let me know if you can relate to these beliefs, because I know that these are really common. These are the ones I speak to. I hear from my clients a lot, and from people just in general conversation as well. So I think that they're really, really important for you to bring up to your conscious awareness so that you can do something about them all. So belief number 10, and this is the one that can be at the core of everything. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And it's at the root of most of the issues that I see with clients. It really, really deeply affects self-esteem and self-worth. If we don't deal with it, it can impact on confidence too. And again, it's simply not true. We are all perfect and whole and beautiful exactly as we are right now. And when I say perfect, I don't mean in a perfectionist kind of way. I mean just you are amazing. And thinking that you're not good enough, again, is that word that rhymes with Rolex. And so it's vital to work on I'm not good enough. We need to get rid of all of that, whatever it relates to, wherever we think it, bringing that up to your conscious awareness. Is there an area of your life where you think you're not good enough? And if there is, what can you do to shift that belief? And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So it's so important, this one. So I really want you to take a little bit of time and think about that one after this video. Okay, so I've got a bonus one in here, and it's because I wanted to do 10, and then there's just like so many of this other kind of type of belief that I just wanted to just add it in as a bonus. And this is any negative belief or thought you have about money or people with money, or what money does. Right. So, for example, money doesn't grow on trees. Money's the root of all evil. Money doesn't bring you happiness. All of those are going to stop you from ever wanting to get money on an unconscious level. So on a conscious level, there we are. We're running a business. We're doing it because we want to help people and all that kind of stuff. But also we do want to get rewarded for it because we're putting out a lot of effort and energy. And if we've got a belief that, money is scarce, then we're not going to be able to get very much of it. If we believe money's evil, or makes you evil, then you're not going to allow yourself to have it, because who wants to be evil? We're all good, nice people. So we don't want to be evil. And if money doesn't bring you happiness, and ultimately, we all want to be happy, why would you ever let yourself have it? You just wouldn't, would you? So there's all these beliefs, and they're ingrained in us from our culture, from our ancestors, from our parents and our teachers. Everybody has ingrained all these beliefs in us, and also some experiences that about money. And again, money isn't evil or anything like that. Money isn't anything. It's just a concept. It's not even a thing. Like, we've just given it all of this power. So all we need to do is clear out all of those beliefs about money. So that's your bonus one. Again, all of that's happening unconsciously. We're not aware of it, but it has a massive effect on our behavior, our actions, and therefore the results that we get in our business. I recommend Googling limiting beliefs about money and working through them with whatever tool you like to use, or with your coach if you have a coach. So let's see where we are. Okay, so that's all of the beliefs that I've covered there. I mean, there's tons of content in this video. I hope you found it useful. Watch the video from Feel Good Friday on the 2nd of June if you want to find out about how to kind of extract your own limiting beliefs. And some of you are on the call, I know. And also head over to my YouTube channel, because I'm adding more and more content all the time, and there's obviously a focus on negative thinking and negative beliefs. And thank you, Tina. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. It's been great to have you on the call. So head over to my channel. It's just search for the YouTube. Go on YouTube and search for the Feel Good Coach, and you'll find me there. Subscribe to my channel, and then you will get all of my videos over there too. But it's going to be lots of stuff on there about beliefs and things coming up. And then the last thing, really, or nearly the last thing, is that if you haven't already, then make sure you've liked my page so that you get the notifications when I'm going to go live for Feel Good Friday. And make sure you join me every Friday at 9:30 if you can, or if not, catch the replay. And I'm hoping to share loads and loads of great more content with you. Share it with your friends if you think it will help them too. So I've got an action for you. I want you to comment below with the number one belief from this list that you feel is causing you the most trouble. Are you brave enough to do that? Write down the number one belief that we've talked about here today that's causing you the most trouble. And then I want you to write, and I commit to changing this belief. That'll be so powerful, because committing to something like that in this group is going to be amazing. So just write down the number one belief that I've talked about that's affecting you the most, and I commit to changing this belief. I think that'll make a real difference. And you will find ways once you've set that intention. And then the last thing is, really only you can do this. You're the one who lives with these beliefs. You're the one who has them all in your unconscious mind. And regardless of where they came from, you're the one living with the consequences and the impact on your business and income and family and relationships and all that stuff. So you're the one who needs to do the work. And if you commit to changing this belief, then do everything you can to make it change. Like, do some research and make it happen, and you'll see the results all over the place. Get some self-help books, or for a quicker option, work with a life coach, not necessarily me, but someone like me who can help you clear your beliefs really quickly. And I just want you to go away from this and do something, not just watch it and go, oh, that was good. Thank you, Cindy. I want you to do something. So go away and do something. Okay. All right. Join me next week for another fab interview. Amazingly, Heather Angell is going to be joining me, who's on the call right now. So I'm looking forward to that, Heather. It was great to chat with you yesterday and have a little practice for the camera and everything. Heather has a brilliant weddings and events business, but she's also, after we've done some coaching together, she has started a business coaching business as well. And she is specifically starting to focus on the wedding industry and people who've got wedding related businesses. So it's going to be a really interesting interview with Heather. We'll be talking about her story and her challenges, how she's overcome them, and what we did together. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. So make sure you join me here 9:30 next Friday for the next Feel Good Friday, or catch us on the replay. And I hope you have a really fabulous day, and I'll speak to you really, really soon. Bye everyone. Thanks everyone for your comments. You've been amazing. So I hope you really enjoyed that video and you found it useful. Do actually spend some time thinking about some of those beliefs, and if you've got them, then do something about it. I want you to go away and do something, as I said in that video. That's what this is all about. It's not about just looking at it and going, oh, that's a really good idea. You need to do something about it, because only you can. So thank you for watching. If you want to join me live on next week's Feel Good Friday on the 30th, then do please come along and find me on my page. Just search for the Feel Good Coach, or use the links that will be in the description box down below, and you can get all the notifications you need to make sure you don't miss out. Or you can join me on the replay over on my page. Alternatively, you can just hang around here on my YouTube channel, and I will of course share it here for you. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll see you in the next video.